Hi, this is Allison Livingston, 5 Steps to Connect Emotional Well-Being series. This is something really important to me because I had a problem and I was thinking about my life. I was repressing most emotions. I was doing two or three things with emotions. I wasn't feeling them. I wasn't gaining their important messages. Instead, I would either avoid them at all costs by often using rationalizing. So again, I'm in my head, I'm thinking about emotions instead of experiencing them. And I found I was missing most of my life in a deep way. I was there, I was present, but life can be so much more. So I just want to give you the counterintuitive message that we need to experience the emotion in our bodies, listen for their important message, and figure out what they're trying to tell us about our values. And then we can release them. And this Eve Ekman and her dad, Paul, at the Greater Good Science Foundation and Nonviolent Communication call emotional flow or emotional well-being. And so that's what this series is all about. So today we have one of the most important ones, and we could probably do multiple days on just this one, fear. And fear is very present for many of us. And I can get hooked into the spinning out and being in my thoughts about it. And what that does is it re-triggers me because I think one thought and then I think another thought. So, oh my gosh, this COVID-19 is never going to end. And then maybe my parents are going to get sick. And then maybe I'll get sick. And then maybe my daughter won't be able to go to her freshman year of college. And. So this is the danger that we're trying to work with here. So what happens is, again, that I get kind of blocked from here up and I just think about my emotion instead of experience it. So we worked with that last week. And I want to give you an exercise to work with your emotions so that you can invite yourself to come back to experiencing and not thinking. So the first step is asking, where do I feel it in my body? And for me, fear is almost always a stomach churning experience. And that's one of my signals that I need to go give myself self-care and do the 5 steps to connect. And the first step is the one that we're going to talk about, the exercise today. And that's meet yourself, your raw and real self. And get a piece of paper. And the best way to do this, because we need to get it out of our heads so that we can have something to work with. So it's get a piece of paper or a journal and write down all of your fear thoughts, all of the things that you are telling yourself and that are causing the experience of fear. And this is an amazing practice. So I invite you this week to try it. Whenever you feel, whatever your clue is, stomach jarringness or just jaw tension, or often fear, I can recognize it because I have shortness of breath, but also I'm thinking really negative, awfulizing thoughts. So if you're in that place where you are watching the news and then you just start thinking of all the worst case scenarios, all the scary things that can happen, I'll give you a tip too, that fear of feeling fear is actually worse than the fear itself. So I invite you to want to feel fear and to listen to its really important message and ask, what is fear trying to tell me? It's almost always something about my values of safety, of being resourced enough, of reassurance, of trust. And again, just try this exercise. Get a piece of paper, and every time you notice yourself in fear, write it down and see if that supports you. Thanks, and have a great week.